Hello, my name is Lola Green, but my pen name is Bo, and that's what people tend to call me. My pronouns are they, them, and she, her, and I live in San Antonio, Texas, but I was raised in Spokane, Washington. I'm an upcoming writer and historian, and I'm also an activist. I am a genderqueer, lesbian, and autistic person, and I'm here to change the world with the help of Agnes Scott College. There are many global issues that I am passionate about, but the most important to me has always been LGBTQ rights. There was a time when queerness was widely accepted in almost all cultures, but times change over the centuries and is either taboo or outright crime. By the late 19th century, the first LGBT rights movement emerged in Germany, and a community was formed. People who wanted to live in a world where people could be accepted regardless of their sexual orientation or gender identity. This movement evolved into the modern LGBT rights movement we still see today. The Stonewall Revolution, not riot, was a big change for activism in the United States. It was led by transgender activists of color like Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rivera, who should all be remembered as icons in our movement. During the AIDS epidemic, we became stronger than ever as we supported each other through this tragic period of time. We continued to fight until we were granted equal protection under the law, including marriage. We have not stopped fighting, and I will never stop fighting for more progress that we rightfully deserve. Right now, anti-trans bills are popping up in several states, including my home state of Texas. Our governor wants trans youth who are accepted by their families to be taken out of their custody. Former President Donald Trump just recently announced that he is working to stop allowing transgender youth to be themselves. According to the Trevor Project, a nonprofit organization of protecting LGBTQ young lives, 94% of LGBTQ youth reported that recent politics negatively impacted their mental health. And 42% of LGBTQ youth seriously considered attempting suicide in the past year, including more than half than transgender and non-binary youth. Their survey also determined that transgender and non-binary youth who were able to change their name and or gender marker on legal documents, such as driver's license and birth certificates, reported lower rates of attempting suicide, and LGBTQ youth who had access to spaces that affirmed their sexual orientation and gender identity reported lower rates of attempting suicide as well. This shows us that change is needed to ensure the livelihood of LGBTQ youth and that these laws need to be stopped at all cost, and I will continue that fight. The question is now, how will I, Bo, tackle this issue while being a student at Agnes Scott College? Well, there's on-campus and off-campus activism, because my activism goes wherever I go. At Agnes Scott College, there are multicultural and identity organizations that include Ascend for LGBTQIA students. I will definitely be a part of that organization, providing my own insights and support. It's a great place to actively take part in my activism. There's also Affinity for BIPOC LGBTQIA students, which I'll support while not invading that space. Another part of activism, as the Conscious Lee likes to say, education is elevation. To be a better ally and activist, you have to constantly learn and unlearn. Thankfully, as a history major at the most innovative university according to the U.S. News and World Reports, Agnes Scott will be a place where I can educate myself on all topics, with a big focus on LGBTQ history and activism. And as for in person, taking part in community activities and celebrations throughout the year will be how I contribute while still being a student. Agnes Scott College is the place where I, Lola Bo Green, will be able to best succeed as a student and continue the global effort to fight for LGBTQ rights and learning more and more history and being part of the community on and off campus. I have many icons in my life. But one that has stuck with me ever since knowing her is Dr. Temple Grandin. She's an autistic activist and animal behaviorist who we had the privilege of meeting when I was about 9 years old. She told me something that she has told many autistic kids like me, but it applies to my identity as a queer person as well. You are different, not less. We may not be what Western society deems as standard or have conflicting ideas of love, sexuality, and gender, but we are completely human and deserving of love, respect, and equal rights. This was Lola Green, aka Bo, for the Agnes Scott College Presidential Scholarship. Thank you.